Not that anyone up here is counting, but we have some special things to get through today as well. So we're looking forward to that. We'll go ahead and start as we normally do, just with a roll call, see who's here.
Director Fotheringham.
Present.
Director Gettle.
Here.
Director Jackson.
Here.
Director Kegley.
Here.
Director McCalman. Director Perry.
Here.
Director Pignon. Director Prokopis.
Here.
Director Schaefer.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum and can proceed. Up next, the second item on the agenda today is public comment. Is there anyone here in the room who wishes to give public comment at this time? Come on up. Though you need no introduction, please state your name for the record.
Thank you. Good morning, Wayne Dial, Division Chief, Investigations, Over Investigations, Special Operations. As previously mentioned by Chief Maz in the last meeting, I will be retiring in the next few weeks, and this will be my last board meeting. It's been nearly 43 years serving this honorable profession. During this time, I've worked and served with so many of the finest members. I came prepared. Many of the finest members of law enforcement and professional staff that serve your communities every day. Serving with and next to such fine individuals has been my privilege. This is a group of outstanding professionals, and I'm grateful for them who have and continue to embody the responsibility, honor, pride, and integrity of policing. I want to publicly thank them for their friendship, mentorship, and leadership over my career. Thank you for this board and those who have served before you for the dedication and willingness to support this department and its members. I have had the joy and pleasure to work directly with many of you. To the most important person in my life, my wife, I want to publicly thank her, Sydney. Stand up, dear. She has never complained of the days, the long hours, and the absences, the family events missed, the anniversaries, the birthdays, the weekends, the holidays. Along with the many assignments I've had, the phone calls, leaving the house in the middle of the night, unexpectedly, never complain, only love and support. It's time to give greater time to her, my kids, my grandkids. Thank you all for your friendship and my distinguished members behind me for the many years we have served together. I wish you and this board and members of this department nothing but the best in your future endeavors. It's been my honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And we'd be remiss if we didn't thank you for all of your years of service and everything you've done to make UPD the strong organization it is today. So I'm sure we'll have plenty of opportunities to continue to wish you well in retirement. But from the board, we appreciate all that you've done, and we appreciate Cindy as well. So thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to give public comment at this time? Is there anyone online who wishes to give public comment? Not seeing any. We'll move on then. Agenda item 3, UPD update. Here to give that, as always, Chief Jason Mazarin. Welcome, Chief.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of an era. And I learned a long time ago, never speak after Wayne has spoke. And I wish that was the case, but it's not. So we're just going to move forward because we have some exciting things. Thanks, Wayne. Thanks, your wife. Okay, so the first thing is a little bit different. We spend a lot of time recognizing our officers, but I saw this come across my desk the other day and I was pretty excited about it and I want to share it with you. Our crossing guards do amazing work, and I've invited them here to give them a certificate of commendation. So if we could have Kim Watson come up here. So I'll just paraphrase this, but on May 27th, Kim Watson was on her way home. She's one of our crossing guards, and she noticed at 90 South and 13th West another crossing guard that was having some trouble with a citizen who was going into a medical emergency, and they had to start performing CPR. And this other crossing guard had kids coming to her crossing, and this wonderful woman was on her way home, didn't have to stop, but she immediately recognized there was a lot happening here, and this West Jordan crossing guard couldn't do all of it. So they went and they rendered a medical aid, and she also helped with the West Jordan ladies crossing and trying to get kids safely across the street. And they were able to get medical there and transport the citizen to the hospital. And West Jordan identified her and notified us, and she does great work. And so we're so grateful for what she does. She's very attentive to her duties and really went the extra mile on this. So thank you so much. We appreciate you. And then Stephanie. So this is one of our Mill Creek crossing guards. She does a great job. She was doing her crossing at 39th South and 7th West when a homeless gentleman came up to her and asked her to call 911 because his girlfriend had overdosed. And so Stephanie called 911 and found the woman under a tarp and in some trash, and she was not breathing. She started to turn blue. There was drugs and drug paraphernalia around the area, and so Stephanie was on the phone and started CPR and helped this woman. She was unconscious, but they were able to get medical there, and she was transported to the hospital. And the following day, the man that had asked for help came back and told her that she had saved his girlfriend's life and how grateful he was because that was all the family he had. So great job. Thank you. Yeah, we love our crossing guards. Okay, so just a couple quick updates. We posted our HR director position. We had 58 applicants, and we started to go through those. We've narrowed that down to about half, and then we had another session where we narrowed that down to 12 applicants that we've reached out to, and we'll be interviewing on the 30th. And once we get that name and finish that process, I will bring that forward to this board so that you can approve it and introduce that person, whoever that may be. Just want to give you an update there. As you know, we're in summertime. It's that season of parades and events. So we're planning those parades and events in all of your communities. I think we're starting with Copperton first next week, and then we're going to have a busy 4th of July, and we'll just move on through. And I think that Harvest Days is one of the last ones, or White City will be there. And so if you have any questions on that or any needs for your events, especially needs regarding public safety, please let me or your chief or anybody know so that we can respond to that. Chief Morse, as you know, mental health is very important to her. And she's been working on a project for a while to help train our officers and give them skills and training in mental health and strategies on how to deal with stress and those kind of things. And she put on a number of training, or helped with a group called Level Up, put on a number of trainings. And you probably heard me mention that was going to culminate in a baseball game at the Bees Stadium. So that happened last Saturday. It was a great event, a lot of fun, a lot of happy people, and it really, was kind of focused around mental health and then police and fire had their baseball game, and Councilman Prokopis, you'll be glad to hear the fire folks won. Yeah, no, not as expected, but they won. Congratulations. And so that was a lot of fun. A lot of our officers were able to attend that. So thank you, April. That's really important. You do a great job. June 15th, swore in 2 officers and we promoted 2 new sergeants. We've got a lot of promotions coming. As you know, we're kind of going through this reorganization right now. And so you're going to see a lot of promotions and a lot of movement. And so you are always, we'll always let you know when those promotion ceremonies are, and we welcome you to attend any of those that you'd like to. And along with that, we'll be doing some interviews for 2 new chief positions, and the lieutenant's exam is coming right up. We'll be promoting the last lieutenant on the roster, and we need a new list. So we're working on that aggressively. In recognition of the full agenda and the time, I'll stop there. Is there any questions for me?
Okay, thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Appreciate
it.
your support.
Just real quick, I did want to also say to Kim and Stephanie, thank you for what you do. We often think a crossing guard, you help kids cross the streets, but as both of these instances prove, there's a lot more to that job, and we appreciate all that you do for our communities. And also, Kim, I love your earrings. If anyone doesn't notice, they are traffic cone earrings. So just wanted to point that out for the record. So. Okay, we'll move on to agenda item 4, VOCA grant update, and here to discuss that with us, Amanda and Lisa. Welcome to you both.
Morning. So, I'm Amanda Watrous. I'm the Grants and Procurement Administrator, and we have some new board members. So I'll briefly go over the VOCA grant, and if there are any questions at the end, we're happy to answer them. So our VOCA grant is our Victims of Crime Act grant. It's a federal grant. It's paid for by federal offender fines and tax and fees, so it's not tax-based. And VOCA requires us to present to this board twice a year. So that's why we're here today. VOCA awards in 2-year cycles. We're currently about to begin year 2 of that cycle. Our yearly award is $151,000, and that helps pay for our 5 victim advocates, their salary and benefits, as well as some emergency funds for victims. Our victim advocates assist in a wide range of services, including but not limited to the criminal justice process, victims' rights, law enforcement services, crisis intervention, notification of criminal justice events, and interpreter services. And with me here today is Lisa Cochrans. She's Holiday's victim advocate, so I'll just let her introduce herself and speak a little about what she does.
I'm Holiday and the city of Brighton. So what we usually do is if we have a victim of crime, whether it be domestic violence, we hook the victim up with resources. If they need shelter, we get them shelter. If the shelters are full, then we look into a hotel for them. And we follow them all the way through the courts. So if they need help in obtaining a protective order, we're there for them. Food resources, anything like that. And that's it.
Do you have any questions?
Any questions from the board?
No.
Okay, well, thank
Okay.
you. And as always, thank you for all you do for our.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on. Agenda item 5, approval of Good Friday Holiday Resolution 26-0601. Chief Mazarin and Harry. Looks like Harry's getting up to talk about this. Welcome, Harry.
Before I get started, I want to thank Amanda for all she does. She's our grants administrator, our purchasing administrator, and a paralegal who does a lot of the background work and all of the stuff we do. And I appreciate all the hats she wears, and she wears them all quite well. So Amanda, thank you. All right. The Good Friday resolution is based upon the fact that the state this year created a holiday for Good Friday. And it The state is paying its people 4 hours, giving them 4 hours leave time to take, I guess, the afternoon off on Good Friday. UPD is proposing that, in fact, we make it a paid holiday for the entire day. There's actually, because it's pay, it's not considered to be an additional expense, but I asked our CFO to give me the numbers on what, if we do approve 4 additional hours leave, what it would cost, and the amount of about $67,000. So it's a proposal. The board can change it to 4 hours, which is what the state is doing, and it would still be considered that. But we think that Good Friday, and for just scheduling and other reasons, probably best be treated as a holiday for the entire day. So that's the proposal. I don't know what other governmental entities are doing with the Good Friday holiday, but our recommendation is we approve it as a leave, a holiday day rather than half a day.
Harry, I have just a quick question. I assume that if we treat the entire day as a holiday, it's much easier for record keeping, payroll, all of that.
It is,
Okay.
yeah.
That's,
I don't know of any other holiday that's a half day, and I'm not sure how other entities are going to deal with that. But we will sometimes give a half day leave during the holidays for people to do shopping or take care of whatever they need to. So we could do it. It's not that it's impossible, but that it is cleaner for bookkeeping reasons to have it as a whole holiday than a half day. And scheduling wise too, I think most people would prefer to have the afternoon than the morning off. And so we might run into some scheduling issues there, but none of it's insurmountable. It's just, we think that it would be more consistent with our other holiday practices to not have a half day.
any questions? from the board?
Harry, how does this affect, if at all, patrol coverage for the day?
It doesn't. We have full coverage every holiday.
Right.
It seems to me that it's just simply a scheduling issue. Some people will work on a holiday and get holiday pay for it, but we don't drop down our numbers on holidays. If anything, sometimes they result in more patrol rather than less, just because of the nature of the holiday.
But essentially just increases the pay for that day, either for
I
4
believe
hours or
it's
8
accurate.
hours.
Do you know, Chief, on that? Yeah, Debbie? Okay, they can also shift it to another time too.
Oh, so they could,
Yeah,
if Ramadan or some other holiday is more important to them, they can shift it.
yeah.
Okay, any other questions from the board?
Just confirming, sworn gets an additional 8 hours of holiday pay per year.
It actually would be for the entire department. So
Well, day
sworn and
staff, day
civilian.
staff would get the day off,
Yeah.
but those in ops would
Yeah,
get an additional holiday. Thank you.
Okay, this is on the agenda as an approval item, so if there are no other questions or comments, if there's someone who would like to make a motion.
I'll make a motion to pass the resolution amending the UPD paid holiday schedule to include Good Friday.
Second.
Okay, we do have a motion and a second. Would you like a voice vote or a roll call vote?
a voice vote's fine.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. Thank you,
Thank you.
Harry. Okay, moving on to the next action or next agenda item, approval of URS Public Safety Tier 2 System Employee Contribution Rate Resolution. Here to discuss that, already at the podium.
Thank you.
Harry.
This is actually, Chief Olson has put this together, so I'm standing in for him today because he's out of office. But we'll be losing him as well sometime in early July to retirement, and we will miss him as well. We'll probably do something in the July board meeting to recognize him. But essentially, as this has been explained to me, and so I will do my best to try to represent what it is, we get assessed an amount by URS for the Tier 2 system for employees' contribution to that. And that has been at a rate of, hang on just a second, of course, my computer went dead right there, a rate of 4.73, which in the past UPD has paid, so that we're not assessing this cost to the employees in the Tier 2 system. The rate went up this year to 5.93, I think.
9/8.
I mean,
Sorry, let me look for this number. It's about, well, it's about a 1.28% increase, 1.25, sorry. Again, this isn't my bailiwick, so I apologize. So the cost to continuing to pay the employee share would be an additional $160,000 and $160,039. And it is in our budget this year as something that we would do, but because we need to declare what percentage of that we are paying going into the next fiscal year, and there has been an increase, rather than split it, the recommendation is that we continue to pay the Tier 2 contribution rate at a full 100% for the employees. So that's the proposal before you now, and that is the request.
Okay, thank you, Harry. Any questions, comments from the board? I think it's important for us to live up to the promises that we make to our folks. So anything we can do to help that with the contribution rates, I think is a good idea. This is also an action item today. So if there are no questions, if anyone wants to make a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion, we approve Resolution 260602.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Harry. Moving on to the next agenda item, easier one, acceptance of donations. Here to discuss that, Chief Maz.
Thank you, sir. Real quick, one donation you'll see in your packet for $100. That's from Jerry Garrett, who's always been very kind and generous, and donated 100 for your approval.
So I move we accept the donation as presented.
second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the donations, say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? And it passes unanimously. We thank Mr. Garrett. I know those normally go right to our Mid-Bell precinct, so we
correct.
certainly appreciate him. Next up, agenda item 8, approval of surplus resolution, Chief Mazarin.
And like I always state, our fleet folks are wonderful, and they keep our fleet very healthy and rotating. So we're submitting those 4 vehicles for salvage.
Is there a motion to approve the surplus?
So I move we approve Resolution 260603, the disposition of specific fleet vehicles.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, passes unanimously
Thank
as
you.
well. Okay, moving on, agenda item 9, Finance Committee update. Mayor Paul Fotheringham, do you have an update for us?
Yeah, I'll keep it brief just at the headline level because the following agenda items will get into the nitty-gritty detail with staff. But the headline items were essentially the bulk of our meeting covered our routine year-end budget amendments. There was one larger amendment that was a little less expected that has to do with the dreaded sprinkler system at the logistics center. It's a larger project, but by the time the MSD came in to inspect, they decided we needed to have a more robust sprinkler system. And so the cost of that went up with some significance, but the plan is that would be covered by fund balance. And of course, these sorts of surprises are sort of why we have a fund balance. And so, but Debbie will get into the details of that story and how that's going to affect fund balance and if we're still in the 8.5 range and those sorts of issues. But the other amendments were primarily the routine year-end amendments. The other issue we got into was with regard to the new HR director position. And so this regards our budget for the coming year. We opted, we had no objection to adding a little extra cushion to that salary range just to make sure we had the full range of possibility. There's a good chance we won't actually need this little extra cushion, but we didn't want to bind our hands with regard to the candidates we could attract. And so there was a small budget amendment for the upcoming year to allow for that cushion. It had, minimal impact to all of us individually. But I'm sure Debbie will go into all that detail when we get into the next menu item. So I don't intend to take a full 10 minutes. So those are the headlines. If I missed something, I'm sure Debbie will cover those in the following agenda items. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Mayor Fotheringham or in the Finance Committee? Sure, it was a robust conversation as always, so we appreciate all you do. We'll move on to agenda item 10. We're getting into the meat and potatoes of today's meeting. Fiscal year 2025-2026, final budget amendments. Here to discuss that, Debbie. Welcome, Debbie.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, board members. So yeah, with the time, with all the items that we have on the agenda, I will try to be quick here. Mayor Fotheringham did cover some of the highlights there. Some of the new things that we had in the, and I did send the memo out in your packet. I hope you all had a chance to read it. I don't want to reread the whole thing to you again, but I will highlight that we do have a new one this year, and that is the recording of the Intermountain Health. They are now part of our organization, and so we do have to record. Since they started, we started working with them. We did it in March 8, which is in this fiscal year. So we have to record the fee that they're paying for us and the associated expenses with that. So the total fee for the period between March 8th and June 30th is $84,920. That's going to be the shared service portion of it. Okay. So that's a new one. The secondary employment assignments, that's something we do every year. The grant awards we do every year. Those are items that we don't necessarily budget at the beginning of the year. And as they come in, then we add them to the budget. And so those are recorded in there. The big one was the $1.4 million that we took from fund balance to cover the renovation, the maintenance, and the rental costs at the logistics building. We had a very good question from Steve in the Finance Committee meeting about, that number. And so I did go back and research the budget the budget from last year, and we did point out at that time that we were going to be setting, it was actually 1.4 million was the amount that we were setting aside from fund balance to cover that. And so that's what we've now used this year for those expenses. And the big item, again, as Mayor Fotheringham pointed out, it was the sprinkling system in the building. When we initially looked at the building, we were told that only a certain section needed to have the sprinkling system in, and that was going to be a cost of about $300,000. We were told later on that the entire building needed to have the sprinkling system, and that's when the cost skyrocketed. So this past year, we spent a little over $800,000 to cover that, and we still have the remaining $250,000 that needs to be covered next year. And that's part of the budget of the capital project items that are in there. So that's a big chunk of what makes up the 1.4 million. We also did have some structural and engineering design costs, and that was for the building and the garage that was built there. And we had a chain link fence. We also, when we adopted the budget last year, we did not know what the utilities would be. We had no history to go on. So we missed the mark. We were under budget, and so we needed to increase this year by $100,000. Okay. So that's part of that cost. So, and then of course we had other expenses for shelving, gates, specialized doors, bars, and electrical work and dumpsters. So again, that's what makes up the big one. So then the others are more just reallocations from one department to another to cover. So when we budget, we allocate salaries across all of the departments. Sometimes those get caught as we do the payroll throughout the year. Sometimes they get missed. So at the end of the year, we find where we've got to now move those salaries to the correct department. And so that's where some of these reallocations are coming from. And then again, we received the $16,000 donation from the honorary colonels that we want to record. And then I believe that that is it for the general fund. Oh, and then we received the LOF Defense brand canine vests that are valued at $19.50 each. And that was presented to the board in the May 21st meeting. So Slavisa, as you recall, last year, Slavisa had its fund balance when we had the separation. That Slavisa, the fund balances that were in Slavisa at the time needed to be paid to Slavisa. But we told Slavisa at the time, we don't know what the exact fund balance would be because we haven't completed the audit. So of course, the audit doesn't get completed until this fiscal year. So once that got completed, we knew what those numbers were. We paid them out in this fiscal year. And that's, but they weren't budgeted. We didn't know what those numbers were. So that's why they're being recorded now in the budget. Those payments have been made. It's not an impact to our budget. Those payments have been made. There's nothing else coming out of our budget. But we need to record them in the budget so we don't have the impression that we've gone over. Okay. So those that impact currencies was 614,000, Magnas was 120,000, White City was 217,500, Copperton was 10,000, and Brighton was 2,500. And then Magna received donations of toys and miscellaneous items at $255, and then Midvale received two $100 donations. You got one, and you were presented that at the April meeting, and then one was just presented to you now. And then again, Intermountain Health. So earlier I told you what Intermountain Health's shared service fee was. Well, now their precinct fee needs to be recorded. And this from March 8th through June 26th, and that total is $160,886. So the fiscal impact by fund is listed there for you. And so a total for the budget amendments for the fourth quarter is $3,753,161.
Thank you, Debbie. Any questions from the board? So this is scheduled for a public hearing today. Is there a motion from the board to open the public hearing and accept public comment?
I move we open public hearing to accept public comment.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Harry, would you like a roll call on that or voice vote? Voice vote to open the public hearing or a roll call? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, public hearing is open. If there's anyone in the room first who would like to give public comment, please step up to the microphone. Seeing no movement whatsoever. Is there anyone online who would like to give public comment? Not seeing any. Is there a motion from the board to close public comment?
I move we close public comment.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of closing public comment, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we are out of the public hearing, public comment section. This is on the agenda for an approval. There's a motion to consider unless there's any further discussion.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of Resolution 260604, approval of the fiscal year 25-26 final budget amendments.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. You want to do a roll call for this one? Yeah. Okay, let's do a roll call.
Director Fotheringham,
Yes.
Director Gettle,
Yes.
Director Jackson,
Yes.
Director Kegley,
Yes.
Director McCalman, Director Perry,
Yes.
Director Pignon, Director Prokopis,
Yes.
Director Schaefer.
Yes.
Okay, that passes unanimously. Thank you, everyone who's been involved in that process. We'll move on to the next agenda item, and that is to discuss the 2026-2027 pay scale. Here to discuss that, our Chief Legal Counsel. Sorry, I missed your title earlier when you came up. I know you love when people throw your title around.
Actually, I don't worry about it.
No, we know who you are and what you
Yeah,
do.
the space has been around long enough that I'm not too worried about it. The adoption of an annual pay scale is something required by law. And so every year in June, we publish a pay scale and present it to the board. Again, this was put together by Chief Olson, so I don't know how many specific questions I can answer about it, but it is something that essentially is the pay range for the various positions, starting at the beginning end and then showing the topped out level for each position. So with that in mind, I'll do my best. Perhaps if I need to phone a friend, we can get somebody else up here on the specifics, but this is the proposed pay scale. And I don't know who approved Chief Olson's leave for today, but come on.
Say, Harry, I think you're auditioning for the HR director.
I am not.
Doing such a good job. Any questions from board? This is also scheduled for a public hearing. Is there a motion from the board to enter the public hearing to accept public comment?
I move we open public hearing to accept public comment.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of opening this to public comment, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we are here able to accept public comment. If there's anyone in the room who would like to do so, step up now. Not seeing anyone. Anyone online? Still no. Is there a motion to close public comment?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we are out of public comment. This is also on the agenda for approval, so there's a motion to consider.
I'll make a motion. We approve resolution 260605, adoption of the fiscal year 2026, 2027 pay scale.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Let's do a roll call vote for this.
Director Fotheringham,
Yes.
Director Gettle,
Yes.
Director Jackson,
Yes.
Director Kegley,
Yes.
Director McCalman,
Yes.
Director Perry,
Yes.
Director Pignon, Director Prokopis,
Yes.
Director Schaefer.
Yes.
Okay, that passes unanimously. Harry, you're 2 for 2 in HR things, so good job.
Could I just
I will
confirm,
leave on top, I guess.
could I just confirm that's both pay scales, civilian and sworn, correct? Thank you.
And this is just a detailed reflection of what was already been decided in COLA increases and market adjustments.
Okay. Nope. We'll move on then to agenda item 12. The reason everyone is here today, perhaps, adoption of the fiscal year 26-27 UPD budget. Chief Mazarin.
Excellent, thank you. First and foremost, so we've been working on this since February, and I'm glad we're here finally. It's been a lot of work, but I believe today we're delivering probably one of the best budgets we've ever delivered as a department since 2010. So I'm very proud of it, and I would be absolutely remiss if I didn't thank our command staff and our finance unit, and especially Debbie for all her work. I'll oftentimes leave at the end of the day, she's still there burning the candles and going for it. So thank you, Debbie. Appreciate it. As you'll see in your packet, I won't go over things in great detail because this is basically what we presented to you when we presented the preliminary budget. Now, if you can see at the bottom, that bottom yellow line on the 26-27 budget overview, you can see your percentage numbers. And as Mayor Fotheringham referred to, there's some small adjustments there because we wanted to get that HR director range correct. That is such an important position, and we want to make sure we get the right person first, as opposed to being constrained by budget. So that's really important to us. So we appreciate your support in that. You'll see we came in at 1.44 is the overall total. And then you can see your individual areas on the second page. You'll see the Slovisa cities. It was really important to us to keep Slovisa flat because we're against the tax cap. And we were able to accomplish that. We had to use, some of the cities had to use some fund balance to do that. But we knew that day was coming, so it's here. And we appreciate everyone who is supporting that. And we are addressing that in other ways so that we can make sure that we keep Slovisa up and healthy. So as you see, Slovisa came in at a 0.24. If you go to the next slide. So you see the revenues, other financing sources, everything there is basically the same as what we presented to you during the preliminary budget. Is there any questions on that slide? I didn't want to go through and just read it. I know you're very familiar with it and you've reviewed it in your packet.
Just comment that I'm grateful that we were able to get a crowbar with the Granite School District to pony up for some additional SRO money. So that was a,
Yeah, that was
was a win.
huge. And again, like I said last time, we've been in this mindset of let's cut. But we've never said, hold on, what about revenue? Let's focus on the revenue side of things. And so that, yeah, Granite's a good partner. We really appreciate them stepping up, but it was time for them to do that as we signed that new contract, which has been signed. We have a new 5-year contract with Granite. And that fee will escalate $2,500 each year until it reaches that 5th year at about, was it, Harry, 70,000, right? Wasn't it 70? For Granite? Yeah, I think it's right. No, I think it's right.
That neighborhood.
Okay. On the slide titled expenditure highlights, you can see what that includes. The change in the URS rates that we've talked about, 2.5% cost of living, which was really important to our employees, and we're grateful we were able to preserve and maintain that. Again, like Harry said, Mark Olson, his hard work with our insurance to get that down. And then you'll see some of those positions that are new, that are needed positions. And a lot of these aren't really in addition to what we have now, but we're actually replacing things we've lost in the last few years. We're starting to get back to really where we should be. And so we're very grateful for that. And then on the capital expenditures list, you see the total of 733 with, again, the big one being the fire suppression system for the logistics building. And some of the other assets that would be very helpful to our operations. Are there any questions on that?
Just want to confirm that, yeah, this is the capital X was going to be also coming out of fund balance, and now with the for the coming year. But also I wanted to confirm with the larger budget amendment that we're still on track for a minimum of 8.5% fund balance.
Yes.
Floor, that we're still in good shape there.
Correct. Do you have any comment on that, Debbie?
Chief, I do have a question about
Yes,
the
sir.
SWAT armored vehicle. I remember a few meetings ago, we were talking about, we were in basically a custody battle with the county over one of these. So would this be in addition to the one that already existed, or was that part of the negotiation that the county received?
Great question. So just quickly, a little bit of history. Back during COVID, this particular armored vehicle is a specialized armored vehicle. So we have what's called the Bearcat, and that's the big, machine that when we're being shot at, and it's been shot, that, we would go right up to a target and use that. Then we have what's called the MRAP, as a surplus military vehicle. That was some of the dispute over that. But then there was a vehicle which is essentially a ambulance. So it's got the ability to transport citizens or officers, has medical equipment in the back, but it's all armored. And so that was purchased during COVID with some COVID funds by Salt Lake County. So what we wanted to do was purchase a van that we owned that's armored up, that we basically make our armored ambulance. And the advantage of that is what we call a hot zone, or if there's, we have a serious emergency, we can have tactical personnel jump in that and get as close as we need to without anybody getting injured to rescue people. So we felt that was an important vehicle.
Okay, so an additional piece of equipment. Okay.
Because the current armored ambulance, that's not ours. That belongs to Salt Lake County.
We kept everything else in the separation.
Correct.
Thank you.
The house.
Chief, if I could address the MRAP.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
So the MRAP was a vehicle that ultimately in our settlement discussion, Salt Lake County was going to take. And they have branded it with their name and information on it. And as we're getting ready to transfer it, we found out that the federal law doesn't allow you to transfer a military asset. It goes back into the general military hopper, and then you have to apply for it. So in order to honor our agreement with Salt Lake County, what we've agreed to do is we will sort of share custody, would be a way to put it, of the MRAP. They'll be primarily using it, and under our agreement, they'll be paying the maintenance costs for the MRAP as well. And so it's going to be a shared item, but in reality, I think they'll be using it more because that is their option for an armored vehicle right now. So is that about accurate as?
Yeah, essentially we own all the armor except for this armored ambulance. And then, we've made this agreement to share the MRAP as Harry stated.
And on the armored ambulance, the county used COVID funds to buy it. So they essentially were letting us use it during COVID, but it was always their vehicle and they had paid for it themselves. So we weren't eligible to receive COVID funds directly, and they were. So that's just one of the expenditures that they made on behalf of us. It was one of the things it did was actually transport, I think, the COVID vaccines around because they were quite valuable and needed to be protected during that process. So that is essentially the history of our vehicles. And when it came time to divide up, that was already titled in the county's name. So they got the armored ambulance, and ultimately the MRAP was deemed to be not essential for us because we had the Bearcat and other things. And so that was part of the negotiations. But since it can't be transferred, we're going to be sharing it. And that agreement is almost finalized now.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
In the end, I expect also that since we don't actually live in a war zone, and given the concept of mutual aid, that in a pinch, if it were needed in our jurisdiction,
Yes.
it might become available.
Yeah, and I don't want to have anyone get the wrong idea. The county's been very good about continuing to allow our use because they're part of our team. We have a multi-agency team. And so they've been very good about that. But we feel like now's the time for us to make sure we have some of those assets that were encapsulated, if that makes sense. And one other issue with the MRAP, it is a really big, heavy vehicle. If you see the MRAP going down the road, something's really bad. But we can't use it in a lot of areas because of the weight. It will break cement. It's got very limited use. So this will help us, have a little more robust ability to respond the way we want to. You'll see on the budget overview, that's the bottom line with the three cities, Slovisa and Intermountain Health. And I saw that Heather Walls online. I just want to acknowledge her presence at this meeting. Appreciate all her help and cooperation. And that, unless there's any questions, the next, you've seen this many times. It's just a good way to compare one year to the next and look at the formula on why some things changed. For instance, Linda, we were in Copperton last night and you saw Copperton went down. This will show you why that happened with cases and other things. Any questions on the formula?
Just one other clarification as well. I mean, our PBIM, as you recall, was set at 3.5. Although we've been talking about 1.44, I think probably a more accurate representation is the 3.13. But that's still well below the 3.5, and getting us to 1.44, lion's share of that was Mill Creek's use of fund balance. So thanks to Mill Creek for improving that number overall. But I think really the real number that, at least as an accounting, it's an arguable position. Sure. But as an accounting finance guy, 3.13 is probably a better representation of the result. But even there, we're still a hefty chunk below the 3.5. It's to be congratulated.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, for us to be able to deliver a budget that's solid, but see growth and additions to what we're doing we're pretty excited about that. The last thing I wanted to mention is yesterday we got notified that our technology grant from Burgess Owens' office is good to go. So we should be able to get those funds starting October 1st. And that is a $1.08 million grant. It's going to help a lot. So I will get with the commanders and we'll go over our list to make sure that when that funding is available, it's a reimbursement grant. So we have to spend first, but then quarterly the government will reimburse us. But that'll help us immensely with resources and assets and things that won't cost your cities anything. So what's that? 1.08 million, correct, Amanda? Yeah, 1.08 million. And thanks to Amanda, she has been, when I met Burgess Owens back, what was that, 2 years ago, a year ago, a year and a half? Yeah, she's been working on it ever since then. So a lot of credit goes to her. And to Congressman Owens and his staff, who was particularly Casey Saxton, who has really kind of got us on this road. So I appreciate him. Any questions for me on the budget? Me or Debbie?
Chief, I just want to echo what Mayor Fotheringham said. We gave that 3.5. What's the
PBIM?
yeah, PBIM. And you guys came back with such a great budget this year, but also, as you mentioned today, it's not like cut, and then, we're putting things off with this budget that we need. It looks like, we're actually going the other side of what the last two budgets have been, and that's being able to fund some positions that have been on hold. So
Yeah.
it's nice to see, we get to the number that all of us felt comfortable with, and we're not losing any services. So thank you for all the hard work that you've done. Debbie has done, the whole team. So we appreciate
That is accurate. Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
I just say the same. Thank you for the thoughtful and transparent process.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I will note that my birthday is 3/13. So if that's the 3/13 that we settled on, I didn't tell you to do it for my birthday, but it does.
Works for us.
Works out. Okay, this is also scheduled for a public hearing tonight or today. Wow, it's not nighttime yet. Is there a motion from the board to open the public hearing and accept public comment?
I move we open public hearing to accept public comment on the fiscal year 26-27 budget.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, if there's anyone here in the room, I sound like a broken record today, but anyone in the room who'd like to give public comment, now's the time to do it. Not seeing any. Anyone online? No one online. Is there a motion to close public comment?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, public comment is closed. This is for approval today, so there is a motion in the packet for you to consider.
Mr. Chair, I happily move approval of resolution 260606 to adopt the fiscal year 2026-2027 UPD budget.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a happy motion and a happy second here. Let's do a roll call vote.
Director Fotheringham,
Yes.
Director Gettle,
Yes.
Director Jackson,
Yes.
Director Kegley,
Yes.
Director McCalman,
Yes.
Director Perry,
Yes.
Director Pignon, Director Prokopis, Director Schaefer,
Yes.
Okay, that passes unanimously. Again, thank you for all the work that everyone has done for this budget. We're glad to get the final approval here today, so thank you. We'll move on to agenda item 13, creation of the Assistant Chief of Police position, Resolution 260607. Here to discuss that is our HR Director, Harry.
This one, this one actually is something I think in my bailiwick. So the interlocal provides that the board will approve the creation of new, what I would call exempt chief positions. And this is so the purpose of this is to approve the creation of the position. I'll let Chief Mazarin on the next item introduce the actual designee. But because it is a new position, we're requesting approval from the board. It's already been funded in the budget you just passed. So this is to create the position so then it can be filled by appointment. The assistant chief has certain responsibilities in addition to being the assistant chief. He will be supervising now professional standards among other areas. And the chief and assistant chief, if this is approved, can discuss that as well if you'd like. But this is something that Chief Mazarin actually pointed out, that before we separated from the sheriff's office, the sheriff had the sheriff, the undersheriff, and the chief as sort of like the undersheriff and chief were assistants in terms of managing the department. And one of the goals has been to try to at least install an assistant chief in the department to assist the chief. The assistant chief will be more over operational matters, allowing the chief to focus more on administrative matters and things that don't require his attention anymore, things that the assistant chief can help share those responsibilities. So this is a strongly recommended, please do this, because I think that everybody in the department recognizes the need. The commanders were practically, if not actually, unanimous in a support of that we need this. So our recommendation is that you approve the creation of the position, and then we will introduce the designee if that is approved.
Okay, thank you, Harry. Any questions, comments from the board? Okay, well, I would agree. I know Chief Mazarin has definitely shouldered a lot over the past, how long has it been now? 3 years? So creating this position, I think, will take a huge burden off of your workload, and we look forward to whoever that designee might be in the future.
Which you will find out shortly.
Yes. This is on the agenda for approval. There's a motion in the packet.
So I move we adopt the resolution creating the Assistant Chief of Police position, Resolution 260607.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Since we are creating a new position, let's do a roll call.
Director Fotheringham,
Yes.
Director Gettle,
Yes.
Director Jackson,
Yes.
Director Kegley,
Yes.
Director McCalman, Director Perry,
Yes.
Director Pignon, Director Prokopis,
Yes.
Director Schaefer,
Yes.
Okay, that passes unanimously. Thank you, Harry. And now, since we've created the position, I think we need someone,
Chief Mazarin.
I think we need someone for the position, and here to discuss that, Chief Mazarin.
Thank you, and I appreciate the support on this. This is a good move. It's really common in police departments around the country for them to have an assistant chief position. In law enforcement, you always want redundancy in the different ranks, and so as you know, your own chiefs in your precincts and divisions have what is essentially an XO or an executive officer that is that redundancy built into your own precincts. So this does it for the entire department. And when we originally the separation occurred, we looked at doing this and had very robust discussions about what the new structure looked like. But at the time, it was just not financially feasible at all to do that. So we just decided to knuckle under, and the commanders were great about stepping in when they could. But I knew when they were stepping in, it was pulling away from their duties at their own precincts and divisions. So I think this is a great way to solve that issue. So I'm going to present for your ratification appointment, our new Assistant Chief, Harmony McQueen. Come on.
All those in favor?
She's already the semi-assistant chief.
Sorry,
Anyway.
Chief, it has to be a law enforcement officer.
Ah, darn it. Justin, come on up. Chief Justin Hoyle, I've known him my whole career. We served together in many capacities. We were on SWAT together. I've known him. I absolutely trust him. I have total confidence that he will do a phenomenal job. He's got good judgment. He's willing to do hard things. And he's got work ethic like nobody else, as those of you that know him. He's an excellent person for this job. So I appreciate him being willing to do it. Don't be scared. It'll be okay. Honored. But yeah, I present him to you, maybe make a couple of comments and then they can vote.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Chief Mazur, and I appreciate the confidence in this position, and I truly look forward to working with all of you in this new role if you approve. It's kind of bittersweet. For the last 7.5 years, I've really had the great opportunity working very closely with Holiday the last couple of years, with Brighton, and then even with our new partner in Intermountain and LDS Hospital. It has truly been an honor to work in that role, but I love those communities, and as this department, I love it as a whole, and truly look forward to working with you all and representing the men and women of this organization who truly are phenomenal people, and we just appreciate them every single day. Thank you.
So with that, I submit that to you, Mr. Chair, to have the board take a look.
Okay, thank you both. Looking forward to it. Any questions from the board to either chief?
If I could, I don't have any prepared comments, so I'll try not to ramble, but yes, we've enjoyed the luxury of having Chief Hoyle as our precinct chief in Holiday. And when this new role and its concept was introduced, of course, I had a little bit of a shiver go down my spine because I thought there was a high likelihood that we might be losing our chief. Because I knew he fit this role so well. And, but of course, there was no way I was going to object to it just for the loss of the luxury for Holiday, because I knew it would be such a great strengthening move for the organization overall. And of course, I have great confidence that we'll be able to put a new precinct chief in place where we'll still be extremely well served under the guidance of the new assistant chief. But I can certainly validate the qualifications of our chief to be promoted to this position, and look forward to working with him continually, but in this new role. And he's promised not to be a stranger to Holiday, and as long as he keeps that promise, I'll continue to support this move. So, thanks very much for your service to Holiday, and good luck and congratulations on this promotion. Well deserved.
Thank you. It's been a true honor working with you.
I'd like to repeat everything he just said. Well said. So I was sad, but also glad because I knew this was the right thing to do. So congratulations, Chief. Well earned.
I think serving in this role, one of the people who I didn't know as well as other chiefs, frankly, someone I was a little bit intimidated by. But I've learned over the past 2 years just what a wonderful person you are. I know you helped out a lot when we were collecting items for our resource center, and you were nice enough to put together the picnic where we celebrated everyone the 3 precincts who helped raise those items. So great person. Been great to get to know you, and we wish you all the success if the board approves, which I assume they will. But thank you for all that you do. Okay, this is set for approval today. Is there a motion from the board?
There is. Mr. Chair, I move approval of Resolution 260608, appointing Justin Hoyle as our new Assistant Chief of Police.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Let's do a roll call again.
Director Fotheringham,
Yes.
Director Gettle,
Yes.
Director Jackson,
Yes.
Director Kegley,
Yes.
Director McCalman,
Yes.
Director Perry,
Yes.
Director Pignon, Director Prokopis,
Yes.
Director Schaefer,
Yes.
Okay, that passes unanimously. Thank you. Now Chief Mazarin can plan some vacations. We look forward to hearing about them. Moving on, our last agenda item that requires a motion, at least, approval of the May 21st, 2026 UPD board meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve those?
Motion to approve the meeting minutes for May 21st, 2026.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Those are approved unanimously. Moving on, some upcoming meetings, just to let everyone know, they'll both be here at Mill Creek City Hall, Thursday, July 16th at 9 a.m., Thursday, August 20th at 9 a.m. In the meantime, we will have the July 4th holiday, so I want to wish everyone a happy and safe July 4th. As we celebrate America 250, there's probably going to be a lot more fireworks shows this year, which I know gives some consternation to at least one board member up here. So hope you have a safe and happy July 4th. Any other business from any of the board members? Not seeing any. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.